guys, in this video we're going to make a little mermaid themed birthday cake. So I'm going to start with my topper, and I've just mixed some really pale grey, and I've got a mix of my modelling paste and also fondant, so half and half. Just stuck a lump of this onto a little cake card. This is going to be our little rock for our mermaid to sit on. Just create a couple more little balls for extra little rocks there. Put another one on the top. Now I'm not too worried about little creases and cracks with it being a rock. Next, a mermaid tail. This time I'm just using modelling paste so it sets nice and hard. So a bit of a long teardrop shape. I'll dint in before the end, squish this end bit, and then we're going to cut it in half and try and make a bit more of a fin shape in that. And then we'll just place this on our rock, just bending it round a little bit until you've got it in the position you want. And I just want something rounded to put some scales in, so I've just got a piece of straw. You can use something smaller if you like a piping nozzle. And we're just going to put some little dints in all the way down. And I'm just pressing with the modelling tool in, so I've got some lines coming down the end of this tail. It's also pushing it nice and tight against my rock for me. I just want a little body now, so we're keeping it quite basic. So we've got a little tube kind of, or a little cylinder kind of shape that's just squished. I'm going to narrow it at the top for a neck. I'm using a cocktail stick in mine, so it can't be eaten, but you can put a piece of spaghetti in if you prefer. It's just going to give it a bit of extra support. Just want a little strip of, it's a turquoisey blue that I did the tail in, so the same colour. It's just going to wrap around the waist. Just put some little indents in there, and just a little ball of sort of pale skin tone to match the body where we want that hand to sit on the rock. So it's very basic shape-wise. A nice thin piece for the arm, thinner at the wrist, a little bit chubbier at the shoulder, and we'll stick that between body and hand. And then we'll just dust some edible food colours on there. So they're just dry dust that we're using. I'll put links to everything we've used in the description box below the video. I'm going to add a bit of purple to the bottom end of the tail, and then we've got green at the top. You can go over with a bit more pearlised effect. It doesn't show up too well on the camera. When you see it in real life, it's quite pearlised. I've just got a nice pale lavender colour. Create some very basic shell shapes. Just stick those on the body like that. Oh, give it a little belly button. And of course she needs another arm, so just repeat the process we did on the first arm with the second one. So I've put her arms leaning back. You can put them wherever you like though. And then we're going to make her a little face, so it's a ball or slightly oval. We've rolled it slightly oval, and then I've just put a little point at the bottom for the chin. And I'm just going to draw in a smile with my modelling tool. I'll give her some dimples. Small oval for the nose. We've put it so it's wider than it is tall. I'm just using that paintbrush handle again to poke in some little eye sockets. Wiggle that about just to widen them. So we've got some pink edible dust just to give us some blusher. And a round ball in each eye. A small circle of black now in each eye. Have a look in whichever direction you want. Even smaller circle of white. I've just put that at the very edge of the black. We're going to paint her on some little eyebrows. I've just got dark brown here. Nice thin brush. Keeping the eyebrows quite small. And let's paint her on some little eyelashes just coming out from the side of each eye. Do the same on the other one. And you can use an edible pen if you prefer. I just like to paint them on. We're just going to need to paint her some little lips. And if you like her without lips, you don't have to put them on. Let's stick her head now onto that skewer. So you can just see it slightly at the top of her head, but that will cover when we add hair. And I'd added a few little pearls onto her rocks as well. Now for the cake, I have already iced a 6-inch cake. It's quite tall. I've just iced it in a pale blue. And what I want to do is just add some sprinkles all the way around the bottom edge. So I've wet the cake and we're just pushing in our sprinkles. Now I do have another video on adding sprinkles to a cake. So if you want to watch that, click in the link in the description below the video. And I'm just going to create some little pink starfish. You can use fondant for this. You don't need your modelling paste for these ones. Try and do a range of sizes. And you can do as many or as few as you like. Just put little dots on with the paintbrush, and I'm going to stick these on the side of my cake. I'm putting mine on before I've actually finished because I'm quite impatient, but if you want to stick them on once you've got everything else put together, then you can do. And what we're doing now is we're going to create some waves. Now these waves are going to go on a different tier. It's just a really pale blue for this first one. You'll notice I've already got a pre-iced cake. Now this one's an 8-inch cake that I've got here. Again, it's quite tall. I've wrapped around that pale blue. Now you could roll it a bit thinner if you want. It's just mine was starting to flop around a little bit too much, so I've kept it thicker. So there is quite a lot of fondant on this, so you might find you want to peel some off when you come to eat it. I'm now going to darken the blue, and we're going to create the same strips of waves and they're just going to come further down each time. So can you see we've got a darker one there that I've just trimmed off at the back. And so I'm going to put 3 layers on, and I'll wait while I tear up the cake before I add my bottom layer. Now my mermaid's been sitting here a little while before I add her hair, just because the hair adds quite a bit of extra weight and I don't want her to sink on her body. So she's had a little bit of time to start setting, and we've just got a big teardrop of orange colour, an orangey red that was kind of bent into shape around that head. And then we'll just add a couple of smaller pieces. Put a smaller piece on for like a fringe, giving her a little quiff, like that. Just make sure from the top you can't see through to her scalp. And from a very bottom tier, I've only gone a little bit bigger with this one. I've got 9-inch cake. It's not very tall, and I've just put like a sand colour fondant on, which is caramel ivory with a little bit of brown that I've used. And I've just textured it with a matte so it looks a bit more sand-like. And you are going to need to dowel all your cakes. And I've just got some chocolate ganache. So you don't have to use ganache. You can use royal icing. I've just got ganache made up from when I was making the cakes. And I'm going to stick my next tier on, because it's quite a big tier. There's not much size difference between the two. I'm going to stick my mermaid onto my top tier. And then I need to also dowel that middle tier so that it will hold up the weight of this top tier. So I'll do that off camera. Then once you've got it all tiered together, you can start adding a few more starfish and a few pearls. So I've just picked some pearls out of my sprinkles that I was using earlier. I'm just pushing those into the cake. I've added a dab of water just to make sure they stick on. I'm going to add one more layer of blue around the bottom of the sea now that I've put my cakes together. Add a few more pearls if you want. And then let's create a bit of a kind of splash, just using some white swirls in fondant. Shape them around however you like. You can put as many or as few on as you want. And let's make a little seahorse. I've just got a little bit of lilac, really pale, just curling around the end. Push that on there. So it's got quite a chubby belly. Put some lines across for the middle. A bit of a triangle shape that we've just squished thin at the end for a little fin. That's one halfway down the body there. And the head, it's quite rounded at the top, and we've just pulled it thinner as it comes to the nose. I'm going to push a little eye socket in. And we want a round ball of white or even a pearl. I've just used one of my pearls to push into the eye. And because I've used a pearl, I'm just going to use a pen to draw a bit of black in the middle. It is an edible pen. You can paint on eyelashes if you want your seahorse to have eyelashes. And I'm just going to dust a bit of a darker purple down the back so it's not one flat colour. So there you go, all finished. Our top layer with sprinkles, our middle layer with a wave effect, and then our bottom layer just a bit of sort of textured fondant to look like sand. And just finish it off with a ribbon around the bottom. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment below. You can see more of my tutorials by clicking on the images on screen now. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button to stay up to date with my future tutorials. There are also links in the description box below where you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and more.